Hello and welcome to another My Mom's Basement She-Hulk quick hitter, or should I say another My Mom's Basement Just Jen quick hitter. Oh, you see what I did there, Clem? This was the Just Jen episode. How are we?
Jen is all we need, Bob. Just Jen is all I need. My love of my life. I'm trying to rally it up for her because our girl just keeps taking L's. She took a few in this episode. So it was very funny how that all worked out. And it even had, again, I've now noticed they did that every episode is where they changed the graphic. And I do appreciate it.
Which I love that. But let me ask you something. Why no custom Marvel intro for this show? I feel like every single new movie, new show, they get a cool custom intro with Moon Knight. It went all white for it and everything. This should just be very subtle. Change it to green.
It's funny because even Groot, I Am Groot got that, right? Yeah. That was 6 shorts or something like that.
And even that, like, I appreciate that every time they change it up. I think it's cool.
Yeah, I wonder if they were like, listen, you guys can either do the different graphic for the name every time, or you get yourself a Marvel graphic, and they said, we'll go with the She-Hulk graphic.
She should address it. Jen should break the fourth wall and be like, they didn't even give me a Marvel intro. Like, Moon Knight got one.
Can we do reshoots? Jen, listen, I'm your biggest fan here. Can you just do reshoots and do that for the Basic Boys? Because that'd
be great,
would
right?
Kill. That would crush.
It'd play, too, to the fourth wall breaking that they do.
Shout out to Sienna. She noticed, too. She goes, she goes, Girl Thor is in the Marvel intro now. And I was like, where did you see that? And I've watched it looking for it. And I'm like, I don't know where it is at this point. So I'm just taking her word for it now.
Look at Sienna, the future of Easter egg spotting YouTube accounts.
She has talked about starting her own YouTube channel. And she's like, I'm going to start it at Barstool. And I'm like,
that's adorable.
And it's adorable. And I'm like, but I also think Dave and definitely Eric would be like, let's tap into that kid's market now. I mean, Erica's always asking, who knows about Roblox? Who knows about this? Who knows about that?
I was just about to say, that's the weirdest thing where at the end of a company meeting, she's like, and if you play Roblox, let me know. It's like, what? What are you talking about? Apparently Roblox. Yeah, it's a big thing.
Sienna is our future. The future of Barstool Sports is my 7-year-old daughter. Who would have thought?
So let's get into Just Jen. There's no custom Marvel intro, like I said, but there is the custom Just Jen panel. Because she's asked to be her friend's bridesmaid at the beginning of this episode. She's going to wear a new dress from Luke, which we get to see in action, which was actually pretty cool, where it's like a tight-fitting dress as She-Hulk, and then when she's Jen, it's like kind of a gown. I was like, you know what? Whoever actually did the design on that, very clever. And she acknowledges right up front how inconvenient a wedding is for this moment in the season, which is funny. Right after we get the Daredevil tease, she's like, listen, all weddings are inconvenient when they come up. So this one is too.
Can you say no to being a bridesmaid? And I'm like, that's definitely been done before. You
can't, though. You just can't.
The first mark of if you are a bad person isn't saying no. The bad person isn't the one saying no. It's usually the person that is being told no by someone else. Like, you must really suck as a person. Now, the person saying the no, yeah, you're not a great person if you're doing that. Like, everyone has to suck it up. You know, you have to, sometimes there's the friend that you're like, all right, I love this group of people. There's that one friend I don't want to be around or whatever it may be. Saying no, though, ooh, that is a tough look. That is a tough fucking look.
Yeah, so she shows up as She-Hulk. She's like, all right, I'm going to show up to a wedding and finally, like, have something to talk about with people. Shows up as She-Hulk, and the bride comes up to her right away. She's like, ooh, I can't believe you're going to do this to me on my wedding day. This is a bit strange. Maybe for the wedding, you turn into Just Jen, and that's when we get the Just Jen intro.
Lulu, that's the name of the bride-to-be?
Yeah.
C-word watch, threw her on immediately.
Yeah, she was rough the whole episode. I mean, by the end, I guess she was better, but I think it was just because she was drunk.
Yeah, she's drunk, the little post-wedding happiness going through you. The name Lulu, along with obviously the, can I say no to being a bridesmaid, they're letting you know this chick is going to suck. And shout out to the actress. I hated her guts the entire time. I wanted nothing but bad stuff to happen to her. I wanted rain on the wedding day. However, they say that's... I'm convinced they say that's good luck because it sucks so much to have rain on your wedding day. Yeah. No, it's good luck. Don't worry.
It's like a bird pooping on you.
Yeah.
They say that's good luck too. It's like, no, that's just something you say when something shitty happens. You're like, it's good luck.
There's a ton of things. It's like, don't worry. A ton of things that you can never prove in a million years are going to happen. You're going to get lucky now. It's like, what the fuck are we talking about?
You know what? If I upload a YouTube short that has 190 views, that's good luck.
Yeah, exactly.
Mallory Book meets with this guy named Mr. Immortal. This is our B story for the whole episode. Mr. Immortal is a man who kills himself to get out of relationships. He's a superhero who is immortal. So when I say kills himself, he just makes it look like he kills himself, assumes a new identity, and that's how he breaks up with women. Pretty funny little, like, dark humor in this because he runs out of the room when they start being like, "You're pretty fucked up, man. Like that's crazy that you do that." To get out of that conversation, he just kills himself again, which again, very dark for Marvel, especially.
I like that guy. I like the actor. This guy, what's his name here? David Pasquizzi. That's a heck of a name.
Squeezy.
He just Pasquizzi. David Pasquizzi. He just fucking owned that.
He was great.
He's in Veep. I don't know Veep. He was in the Book of Boba Fett.
Who was he?
Mock Shize's Major Domo. Oh,
the Major Domo.
Oh my God! It is the same guy. Think about it, Bob. Holy shit!
Holy shit! It's the Major Domo. He's all in the Disney family. It makes sense. Probably had a good experience with the work people, the directors, the writers on Book of Boba Fett, and they were like, "This guy was great. Call him back up for She-Hulk."
You guys need a schmuck? I got just the schmuck for you. The Major Domo from the Book of Boba Fett.
What a discovery!
What did we call him again? We had some sort
of
fuckface. I think he was
fuckface.
I think he might have been fuckface. Absolute fuckface. And this guy, I don't know, and he can like the jumping out of the window meme. I felt that was almost he was basically making a meme. It's like, oh, let me jump out the window and I'll make a meme for you guys.
That should be a live meme. Like when these girls won't stop talking, get out of there.
Just jump right out.
The back at the wedding, the bride asks how Jen is. She's like, "How you doing?" Jen's like, "I'm actually doing really good. Like I have a new job, the She-Hulk thing." And she's like, "No. Like, do you have a boyfriend?" She's like, "Oh, like no, I don't have a boyfriend." So she walks out. This is where Titania shows up as well. Titania shows up. She's like, "Oh yeah, I'm a date of one of the groom's friends." And the guy like waves from across the room. It's obvious that Titania is there to mess with She-Hulk, but the bride takes her side. Jen storms out, and then someone named Josh sits down, starts chatting her up, and the bride comes over and she's like, "Can you guys clean up, by the way? People are leaving because of the way I'm treating them." Funny scene, and this guy named Josh, I gotta say, he seems like an all right guy.
Seems like a swell guy. Yeah. And they're in this series, and even in this episode, we meet a whole lot of not swell guys. And I am not part of the woke mob, but I'm starting to feel like men are taking some fucking shrapnel this goddamn series that I do love a lot. I really do like this. Yeah. And now when I see Josh, I'm like, is this guy sus? Is that why he's so nice? I'm now thinking the nice people are like the bad guys in the grand scheme of things, because it's not adding up with everything else I'm being told in this series. So my radar is up on Josh, but he's so fucking good. And it's more so when you're with the party. Actually, you know what? Excuse me. I'll let you continue with the way it goes. But yeah, just making your guest clean up just such a dickhead move.
Dickhead move.
No, excuse me. Cunt word. Cunt move. Cunt move. That's the word.
It is. Mr. Immortal meets with all of his exes. They're all in front of them, and they all have their grievances. One guy's like, I put on a New Orleans $10,000 funeral for him. Another girl's like, I put him through school. They all have their grievances, and Nikki and Book kind of enjoy this, and they're having fun with it, and they don't really care about Mr. Immortal, so they're making sure he has to pay all of them whatever they're deserved, and they're like kind of taking the side of all the exes. Not great lawyers, but great women. You know.
My guy, Mr. Immortal, was just laying wood back in the day, because he has all these chicks
and women didn't matter.
Yeah,
he'll take them. Get it from Mr. Immortal.
Mr. Immortal, keep going. He's lived 1,000 lives already, and the fact that he keeps getting all those people just to fall for him. I mean, we're not just talking one night stands here. We're talking marriage. We're talking commitment. He's a silver tongue too. I kind of was falling for him too. I was like, I'll give this guy a whirl.
Back at the wedding, all of the groomsmen were playing Mario Kart and getting a little too into it, so Jen was assigned to iron all of their clothes, and they say video games are a sport now. They're on ESPN. And her groomsman is an old dog. They're like, it wets itself. They had to resuscitate it in the morning. It's a cute-ass dog, if we're being honest. They took it as like a big, like, disrespectful move. If I was in a wedding party, and they're like, oh, the bride has like this adorable dog, that's actually who you're walking down the aisle with, you just got to carry the dog down, I would be thrilled. That's like you're everyone's favorite guy at the wedding. Everyone's like, oh, look how cute. You're like walking through, you come into the party, you do the Simba with the dog. I didn't take that as much of a disrespectful sign as Jen did.
No, how many times when we talked about how good the casting agent is for Marvel, they boned this one. Like you
It's a
completely
cute
botched
dog.
it.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, it pees. It's like, oh, whatever. Oh, like it's sprinkling. It's not Jen's fucking fault. The dog's peeing. They try to make it be like Fuller from Home Alone, right? Where it's like he wets the bed. Nope, that dog was cute. And like, even if you could say he was like hopeless dog, it was like a cute hopeless. He had legitimate puppy dog eyes, right? And I fell in love with him. So
oh wait, that's our thumbnail for this week. Give me some puppy dog eyes. All right, that's our thumbnail. That's pretty
good. This is what I was gonna say earlier.
Yeah,
pairing off for the wedding party entrances is always like
it's a little awkward.
Yeah, and it's always weird if you don't know the person, which usually about half the wedding party may know each other, whether it's from school, growing up, whatever it may be, family stuff. And then the other half, do it. It's always tough. And I'll tell you, someone that's planned a wedding, you kind of have to learn. It's like, oh, these are the quiet people. We're going to pair them together. These are the fun people. They're going to be good. And then you kind of get the people that we're lucky. We went to college together. So it was a lot of college people. We were just linking up and, they partied together countless times. But that is something I'm always nervous about when I'm at someone else's wedding. And it's always the same lame entrances. It's the same, do the dance, throw the flowers in the air.
Clem, one day you're going to have to do that for me.
Oh, is this live? Is this a proposal?
No, it's not. No, that's not happening for who knows how long this is going to happen. But eventually, one day when I get married, you'll be in the groom's people.
No, I mean, are you proposing to me to be in your in your groom's party? I am honored, Bob. I accept.
Absolutely, without a doubt. Yeah, that's not even. I wouldn't even think about that. Yeah.
There's our description for it. Barstool employee asks other Barstool employee
to be his groomsman. Jen goes and gets drunk at the wedding. She's like, everything's going wrong for me today, so I'm gonna go get drunk. It's not even an open bar. She's paying for all her drinks at the wedding.
Cash bar on a Thursday wedding is the cheapest.
Yeah.
I was upset.
Thursday. I forgot to mention that it's a Thursday wedding. Yeah.
I was upset with the cleaning up. I was offended with the whole trying to make a dog seem like the bad thing. But when you're throwing a cash bar on a Thursday wedding, which fucks up everyone's week, because then you're taking off like the Wednesday, you're leaving Wednesday night, Thursday is cooked, Friday you're probably going to get cooked too because you're going to be hungover from Thursday, the Thursday wedding, and then it's just like the weekend you have nothing to do. Cunt! Lulu is such a cunt. And bravo to the writers for really
the actress. She nailed that role.
She absolutely nailed it. And also shout out to the writers for referencing Mario Kart. That's like the people that this was my least favorite She-Hulk episode. I'll come out and say it. I don't care about that at all.
Same, yeah.
But the people that write for this, we've always said how fun this series is. They're Mario Kart people. If you're a Mario Kart person, you usually are a pretty good time. And if you're not, let me change that. If you're not a Mario Kart person, you fucking stink. I guarantee anyone who's at a Mario Kart person I guarantee anybody who is not a Mario Kart person has had people drop out of their brides, whatever.
And that's also such a wedding thing. I could see that happening. Like one of the groomsmen brings an old Nintendo 64 with 4 remotes, and everyone just gets captivated and pulled away from whatever it is because of that. So Jen flirts with Josh a little bit, and then she gets a little too drunk because she's not She-Hulk right now. She's Jen. Maybe her tolerance is all out of whack. She goes to puke, and Titania meets her out there, punches her in the face as she's puking, which is like, oh my God, add insult to injury. Jen cannot turn into the Hulk at first. She can't turn into She-Hulk, kind of like Bruce Banner in Infinity War. Like you could see the green veins pulsing through her body, but she just can't get it. Eventually she does. They get into this big fight. Titania slips, falls, face plants at the wedding, and her teeth come out, which I've seen happen at a wedding. I've mentioned it on the podcast before. It was my cousin's wedding, and we were on the dance floor. Everyone's having a great time, great wedding, and we just heard and we all look over, and someone's just face down, knocked themselves out, slipped on a drink, broke their nose, teeth came out, and they had to stretcher them out, put a very weird tone on the end of the night, the bride thought something big was happening. Everyone is lights come up, what's the next surprise? And it was the EMTs with a stretcher. So it was weird, but he really made up for it. The next wedding the guy went to, he showed up in a catcher's mask and made everyone crack up.
Oh, what a showman! That's some Mr. Immortal kind of like
It
level
was
of
it was
showmanship.
awesome. It was like, all right, it was worth it for the picture of you in a suit at a wedding with a catcher's mask on.
Speaking of which, our guy Robbie's in Merchapalooza right now. Promo code
Oh
Robbie or
yeah,
promo
yeah.
code Fox.
Promo code Robbie.
Robbie.
I'm trying to get me a new tooth.
Yeah, he's trying to get a new
I'll
tooth.
show it live on a podcast. Ready? Prepare yourself. It's gross. I'm like a jack-o'-lantern.
I'm ready. Oh boy,
There's no tooth back there. I need a tooth. Okay, I can't chew on that side of my mouth.
Did it crumble out of your mouth?
No, it got infected and my lymph nodes fucking swelled up. It was wild. I looked like I had like jowls, and they pulled the tooth because they said it was getting towards the sinus where you start worrying about the brain infection. We're talking about brain infections from teeth.
Brain infections. I had a friend in college. He had the same thing. He looked like a Who. Like Cindy Lou Who, and I was like, "What the fuck, dude?" And I never knew this until I think I started Barstool. Chaps had told me, he's like, "No, you could like die from that. It could go to your brain."
It's crazy,
so,
yeah.
Help my guy Bob out.
And I need the other 2 wisdom teeth out. I got the whole wisdom teeth dilemma. I need a new dentist is my thing. Like my dentist is overcharging me, and they're doing bad work right now, or they kept me awake for it, and then they didn't call me. They're supposed to be an emergency dentist who didn't respond to me. It's a whole new thing.
Jersey
Just
City
get me a new
people.
tooth.
People in Jersey City, give my guy Robbie a fucking dentist. We need to get this guy. I need him to live so I can be at his wedding, in his wedding party. It's kind of fucked up when I want the groom to be alive for his wedding, but that's what we're doing here. We have to do this as a team. Speaking of which, I'll give my story. I was at a wedding and a lady died during it, but was resuscitated. So I gripped you in. Listen to this shit, man. Fucking craziness. It was our good friends, Lauren and Mikey. Shout out Branos. And it was like a half hour into the actual like dancing part of the reception, right? So we had the cocktail hour. So it's pretty fresh, the wedding. It's Raining Men is playing on the fucking loudspeakers.
She died to It's Raining Men. That would be a horrible song to be your last song you ever heard.
Yup. She just goes down, and people are just having a ball. The olds are on the dance floor having some fun. All of a sudden, you just like hear a commotion, a stir going on. I'm like, what the heck's going on? And you just see this woman on the ground, and they're fucking, all of a sudden you start seeing like the resuscitation. They're pumping the chest, and it's just like, and you're just looking at your friends who you're starting to buzz at this point too, because you've been drinking, and we're just like, what the fuck? You could hear a pin drop in the place. And then after like 20 minutes or so, the
20 minutes? That had to feel like 2 hours.
It could have been 2 minutes. It could have been 20. It could have been 20 hours. I don't know. It just, whatever it was, they come. Oh, that was the other thing. They had like a little, it was like this little plastic thing with the air, and they're like pushing it, and it's like on her mouth. They take her away, and we're just like, all right, we have like 3 more hours. What are we going to do?
Does the DJ just hit the music? So
the DJ comes on, and he's like, and it was actually the bride. Shout out my girl Laura, and she's awesome. And she goes on stage. She's like, listen, guys, she's, they say she's all right. She's going to listen. Let's go have some fun. So we're like, all right. And, you start drinking, and you just try to like, now I didn't know her. I think it was an older woman who it was. And, they say like, so we're just partying throughout the night. And then at the end of the night, they're like, with like 20 minutes left, like, by the way, she's in the hospital. Everything is good. And we're cheering and having fun at this point. Right. And she ended up being fine. And they said she would have died if she hadn't been at the wedding that night and the same thing had happened. But listen to this. My guy, Mikey, his mom happened to work as an EMT, so she passed out right next to a table full of EMTs. It's the most fucking unbelievable stroke of luck in this woman's life.
I'm not like a spiritual guy at all, but that makes you think like fate. Yep. Somehow she was meant to be there when whatever the medical was, a heart attack.
I guess it was
whatever it was, whatever the medical issue was. It's like fate that she was next to the EMTs when it happened.
If they had their wedding on a Thursday,
how long ago did this happen? By the way,
it was before
like how old are you when this happened?
So this is,
are you like a 20-year-old kid?
Yeah,
like,
it's 20-somethings. 20-somethings
wow.
Right now at that point.
That's
yeah,
crazy.
It's wild.
That's crazy. I don't know how I would react. Yeah, but the bride comes in. She sees Jen as She-Hulk. She thinks, oh my God, she's about to be pissed at me. It looks like she's about to cry, but really she's just drunk. And she's like, oh my God, I'm such a big fan. She-Hulk, you're at my wedding? This is so cool. And then we cut back to Book and Nikki. Book tells her she's married. She has a kid. She's been married for 11 years, whatever. She's like, that's enough about me. And they find this She-Hulk hate site that looks a suspicious amount like Reddit. And it's a She-Hulk hate message board where they're putting death threats and whatnot. And Mallory's like, no, don't tell Jen. That'll just cause her to have anxiety. Sus.
Sus.
Incredibly sus. Of course, Nikki's a true friend, so she doesn't listen to that. She calls Jen right away. Jen does not pick up the phone. She's flirting with Josh still and everything. But then we cut to maybe it's the moderator of the Reddit or whatever, the Hulk King, and I think it's him. He like puts they're like, the next phase is done, and they put a what do they call it? Syringe into a new big briefcase, and presumably it's a syringe that would be able to pierce She-Hulk's skin, because that was the issue they had last time. Good episode, not a great episode. It was probably the worst of the series, but it was still a fine half hour of entertainment.
This was what I thought we would be getting every episode, and it makes me actually it makes me appreciate the other episodes I like more. To see
this and the last one were similar in that. The last one, I thought the B story was way better. The shoes and the drip broker, all of that, I thought that was really good. This one with the B story was okay, the Mr. Immortal stuff, but there wasn't a lot of it. There's not a lot to talk about, go into with it.
There's something about the MC that I still have to come to grips with, is that there are all these other supers out there, Mr. Immortal, Titania, and it's like, I feel like it would have been a bigger story if they had been around this whole time. And I mean, hey, it just seems like we're just going to have X-Men just start walking around and be like, oh yeah, we've been around the whole time. What are you guys talking about? So it does feel that part feels kind of weird. But even like, so I don't really love Titania. She doesn't really do it for me.
She's okay.
I don't know if it's the actress or just the way the role is being like, I'm just like, oh, you're on screen again. It's not even like oh, you're a villain and I don't want to see you like beat the good guy. I'm just like, you just really doesn't do it for me. However, throwing on the electric slide during the fight, I thought that was
funny. Nice that was good.
That is a big time like wedding garbage kind of song that everyone hates. I'm not an electric slide fan, never have been. I do love Shout. Shout is my song.
Shout's your song. Yeah. We all know that.
Yeah. Is Shout going to be at the Bob Fox wedding, or is that on the Do Not Play list? Be honest.
No, yeah. I like Shout. But it might be the Green Day version. Which is, it's not, they don't really change it up. It's pretty much like true to the original. I'll send it to you. They play it at the end of a Green Day song called King for a Day. It's really great.
Oh, I like that. I'm going to have to, I can't believe I've never even.
I'll send you a video. They play it at Milton Keynes, which is like 120,000 people in the crowd, all doing Shout with them. It's great.
That's incredible. And then the other wedding song that's like a little cliche, but you don't hear it all the time. I heard it way back a few times. Was "Hot, Hot, Hot," and people do the conga line.
Oh, I think of Michael Scott.
Yes, incredible.
Hello, thing after he comes back from Jamaica.
Yes, with the little braid in his hair.
Yeah.
I'll tell you right now. I am a huge Hot, Hot, Hot fan. I love conga lines. So if anybody has a wedding out there and they need an extra person to fill in the line, your boy Clem is here for it, because I fucking love that stuff.
Unreal. I did.
Like walking on broken glass. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You wouldn't think, but when the booze is going through me, now listen. The old Clem who used to dance to Hot, 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 that's like She-Hulk Clem. And this Clem is like Jen Clem. Like he doesn't touch that much booze like an entire year that I used to have in like one wedding night. So
unless you're like, say, like Adam Malsey and DMX, then you really go nuts.
You throw him back.
All right. Thank you for tuning in to another She-Hulk quick hitter, another She-Hulk recap. We're going to keep up with it. If you're an Andor fan, we did a full podcast about the first 3 episodes of Andor, the premiere on Disney Plus. We both thought it was really good. And if you're a Game of Stools fan, or Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon, I got all the names mixed up at this point. If you're a House of the Dragon fan, we do Game of Stools each and every Sunday night. As soon as the episode is over, we go live on this YouTube channel and recap it with Kevin. Trent's been on. We're going to get Will Compton on this season. We tried once. Nick Hamilton's the producer. We got a ton of great guests coming. Great guests that we've had. The basement, everything's going up.
Oh, baby. So
everything's
hit that
going
subscribe,
up.
Thumbs up, all that stuff. And comment. What should the comment be? What is the do you think what's the biggest cameo you want to see the rest of the season?
Yeah, Daredevil doesn't count because we know
Daredevil doesn't count. I was going to say this.
Other than Daredevil, who's the cameo you want to see? That's a great question. All right, we'll talk to you guys next week.